Hi guys. Okay, let's do this. So, welcome back to my YouTube night live night. Anyone, so I really wanted to talk on this particular topic, which is how to make sentences in Korean. If you go back to my playlist on language learning, you would see that we were already talking about how to read Korean characters, how to build Korean syllables, like how to write them basically. And so I felt like if we're going to progress on this nightlife, which we are, we should definitely learn how to make sentences in Korean. And the first things we need to know is this pattern basically. So this is just basically subject, object, verb, and then subject plus time plus uh this is the place particle, and then the object, and then the verb, and this is just object and verb, and this is object and adjectives, although I feel like we should just shorten it because I really want this life to be very short. And then we have just verb. I'm gonna teach you how to make Korean sentences based on what is on the board now. So a basic English sentence is subject, object, subject, verb, object. For example, I am going to school. School is the object of the sentence or the place of the sentence, and then going base being the verb, and subject being I, right? But in Korean, the verb always comes last. In the Korean sentences, verbs always come last. The always is in capital letter, right? So if I want to make a Korean sentence, I gotta know that the verbs always come last. And we're gonna be starting with okay, let's do gongo. So I have a list of three verbs here. This is the gongo heo verb, to study verb. This is the kayo verb, to go verb, and this is one heo verb, which is to want something. And of course, all of these are conjugated to present tense. So subjects can be anything. It can be 나는, it can be 엄마는, it can be 아빠는, 동생은, whatever your subject for the sentence is, we can put it there. And then objects of the sentence could be humans as well, could be inanimate things as well, chair, table, whatever. And of course, we have a list of three verbs here. So let's start with this very first syllable here, which is subject plus object plus verb. So think of any Korean, let's say you have a blank slate to make a Korean sentence now. Like you have a blank paper and you want to make a Korean sentence. Let's say you want to use this first formula now. So now think of any Korean subject. Let's use nanen, which is I, since we're trying to personalize it a bit. Uh, someone said cringe. Anyways, so this is subject. I'm gonna stick with nanen, and I'm gonna pick an object. Okay, this is a tag, a book tag. So my first object I'm gonna be using is tag. Tag. So and any of the objects I'm going to be using are going to have either the or the because these are what object particles. So tagger, I'm gonna use this verb one hair, which is to want. So I want a book. 나는. So my first subject I'm using is 나는. This is obviously you can use iga, you can use 는. So 나는 is the first subject here. So 나는 subject, object tagger, verb one hair. So I just made a sentence using subject, object, and verb. And the sentence I ended up making is I want a book. So you can change this subject from I to be my mom, my friend, my sister, whatever your subject is. You can definitely just twist it to whatever sentence you're trying to make, basically. And of course, my object, I use tag, which is a book, but you can switch it up. You can use literally any object that, depending on the sentence you're trying to make. And for the verb, I use the to want verb one hail. So of course, we have lots and lots of Korean verbs. I'm just trying to show you how to build sentences. So let's move on to this one, which is subject plus time plus place plus object plus verb. It's a handful, and I'm gonna unpack it very soon. So I'm gonna stick with the same subject, or should I introduce another subject? Let me do so I'm doing you now, which is nonen, an informal way of saying you. So my subject changes from nanen, which is I, to nonen, which is you. My subject nonen, my time. I'm gonna introduce the time for order, which is yesterday. So this is order, a time word for yesterday. So subject 너는 어제 너는 어제. So I have my subject and my time down. Now I'm looking for a place particle. What place particle would I use? Okay, let me break it down. Let me do subject, time, place, and verb. And then I do subject, time, object, and verb. So I'm gonna pick I picked a time. So I'm gonna pick a verb which is the kayo verb. But since I'm talking about oje, time, which is yesterday, so this kayo has to go in the past tense, which is kasoyo. Kasoyo. So this is past tense now. It makes sense since I'm saying yesterday. If I wanted to use owner, 너는 오늘 something, then of course it's still correct. So my place is, I've not even picked the place, so it's it's a bit all jumbled up. So I'm gonna just move a bit here. So I'm gonna pick a place, Unheng. This is a bank, Unheng, Unheng, Unheng for bank. So subject 너는 어제 place 은행에 갔어요? Question. 은행에. So this air is obviously just a place particle. This air is a place particle. So my verb is in the past tense, 갔어요. So I'm asking someone, did you go to the bank yesterday? This word here, where is it? 은행 is bank. 은행. So 너는 어제 은행에 갔어요? 너는 어제 은행에 갔어요? Question mark. Did you go to the bank yesterday? So now let me make a sentence using subject plus time plus place, and then subject plus time plus object, and then verb. Okay. 저녁. Okay. This is 저녁. 저녁 is dinner time. Yeah, dinner time, basically evening time. So I'm gonna say subject plus time. 저녁 being the time word here because this is like dinner time, evening time word. And then my object is going to be 한국어. 한국어, or 한국어 is my object. I was supposed to write it here. So remember, if you're using an object, it has to have either the or the object particle, and in this case it's going to have the l because it does end with a vowel. So 한국어를, right? So I have my subject, which is I can say 엄마. I can use 엄마, which is mom. Just gonna write it up here. 엄마는. So subject 엄마는 저녁. 엄마는 저녁에 한국어를 공부해요. Or 공부할 거예요, future tense. I'm going to take that again. Subject, time, object, and verb. So subject, 엄마는 time, 저녁에, also being time particle. So at evening time or at dinner time, basically. 엄마는 저녁에, object. The object of the sentence is the Korean language. 한국어를 verb 공부할 거예요, which is the 공부해요 verb in present tense. So mom will study Korean at dinner time, or mom will study Korean in the evening, or at evening time or at dinner time mom will study Korean. However you want to translate that sentence in English, that is basically the translation of the sentence. So okay, so now we've done all this and it's a full screen, but let me just quickly round off with what this two means. So this is simply object and verb. So a Korean sentence does not necessarily need a subject to stand. So you can make a Korean sentence without a subject. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick any objects now. Uija, which is a chair. Uija. Ouija for a chair, and I'm gonna pick a verb, 원해요 again. Now I can pick 사요, which is the verb to buy, right? And I can say 우이자 살 거예요, which is the future tense of the verb 사요, right? So I can just say 우이자 원해요, and it means I want a chair. Or 우이자, which is our object, 살 거예요, I will buy, future tense. So I will buy a chair. So you can just pick an object in Korean and pick a verb, and you have a full sentence there. You don't necessarily need a subject. And the last way to make a sentence here is just a verb. Someone saying something and you just say, oh, 공부해요, which is I study, or 가요, which is I'm going, or 맛있어요, which is it's delicious. So Korean sentences sometimes are just verbs conjugated to present tense or past tense or future tense. And yeah, those are the beginner ways I could try to explain how you can build a sentence on your own in Korean. So what do you guys think? I don't know if it's too jumbled up, but I really hope I got at least a few points down. And also let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what our next Sunday live topic is gonna be, and I'll see you guys then. Annyeong.